Dudes and dudettes, Slay the Spire 2, Necrobinder. We picked the Crucible as our starting, whatever you want to call it. And here we go again. And this was probably going to be the last time we do a Necrobinder run at all. I don't know what kind of deck we're going to build yet, but I'd like to take a look to see where the merchants are. That's all I need to know. There's one right here. Let's do that one. And if we sort of get screwed on RNG with these card rewards, we're just going to have to make do. Already we took some damage. I don't like it, but we took damage. Now we're going to take none. But Asti will die. And now Asti's back. It's amazing. Bodyguard, defend, and strike. And now he's down to 9, so we can strike for the win. Oh, no, I can't. He will unleash for the win. How's that sound? Good. Okay. Wisp, Grave Blast, and Reap. We're going to take Reap Plus because Reap is a really good Necrobinder card because it has Retain. That's really good. Meaning it stays in my hand all the time until I'm ready to cast it. It has to appear in my hand to begin with, but you know what I mean. Like there it is, right? If I don't want to use it right now, and I don't, actually I do. But if say I didn't, say I can't like outright kill somebody, I'll do other things and then end the turn, and Reap is right there waiting for me next turn in my hand. All right, so we'll kill this dude. This dude gets stunned. We don't have any more energy, so we'll just pass on that. He's still going to debuff me here. So we'll take advantage of that and strike. We don't have to defend. And he's going to do 14 damage to me, and we can just strike him dead. We don't care about his damage. It's not going to reveal, or what's it called in Magic? Resolve? Old school Magic, man. Okay. Sick 'em, Defy, and Debilitate Plus. Debilitate Plus, we're going to do that, but I don't like it. I don't like it. Okay, here's another Reap. It's going to do 11 damage to me, and Reap will not kill him. It does 33. So we'll defend, and strike. Because all we have to do is get this guy down within 33, and Reap is always going to be in my hand. And then we'll Reap him, and then that's it. He's going to do 8 damage to me, so we'll debilitate him. And then we'll defend. And now he's within 33. Easy peasy, right? Reap. Boom. We took that. Be something good. It's not. Why is RNG just out to get me? All right, so we got Reap. That's all we got out of this thing. We're not taking Blight Strike, although it does 10 damage and applies that much Doom. It's not enough Doom. Not enough Doom. Pull aggro, negative pulse. We're taking that. We have 150 gold, so we'll take negative pulse and we'll get rid of a defend. Because negative pulse is a defense card. And I actually would have taken ultimate strike had I had a little more money, but I don't. So the negative pulse is not upgraded, so it kind of sucks right now. It only applies 7 Doom and not 11, I think. But that's okay. So we can Reap, which we're not gonna. Negative pulse is our only block card. I don't think we're gonna take any damage to start. I think what we're gonna do is Reap. Let me redo that. We're gonna use block potion here, and then we're gonna Reap. Fine. Now we're going to bodyguard and strike, but he's got 8 plating. Now he's got 7. But still, it's a pain in the butt. We'll bodyguard and unleash and defend, and this is 18 defense against his 14 attack. Nice. So we're just sort of waiting for Reap to come back up. You know what I mean? So we'll strike, we'll negative pulse, and we'll strike. And there it is. Instant win. Okay. What do we get here? Melancholy Reeve. I kind of like Reeve, but we're not gonna. Skip. Okay, so here's our first fork in the road. If we go left, we can get to this merchant, which we really... Oh, there's another one here. Okay, cool. Let's do that. A question mark. Upgrade 2 random cards and we'll remove 1 from the deck. Okay, so let's take a look at our deck. It's pretty weak right now, if you ask me. We have negative pulse. So if we do the random card upgrade, if negative pulse isn't one of them, we're doing the other one. It's not. So we're doing the other one. That sucks. I wanted to get that. Remove 1 card from... Removing 1 card from your deck for free is awesome in this game. It's like the cat's meow. All right, so we'll get rid of a strike this time. Because we still need those defends. We don't have very good defense. These guys aren't paying attention, so we're going to reap. All right, and then we'll strike this guy to kill him. And then we'll bodyguard to start building block. Because that's what Osty's good for, man. Building block. Another bodyguard. Negative pulse. And a strike. Nice. Osty takes 1. It's no big deal. We'll debilitate. That does 12 damage. And unleash. Which is nice. And now if we defend, Osty's still alive. And we're good. Now we can reap and win. Okay. Snap, Sick'em, Fetch. I swear to God, we're trying to build a Doom deck and all we're getting is Osty cards. So we should probably just switch to Osty. Okay, we can Smith, negative pulse up. That's good. This will be empty. This is the downside of the Crucible. Our first chest is empty. If you want to call that a downside. We're going to Smith again because we can. We're going to Smith Bodyguard. We're going to go to the merchant with 66 gold and beg him to give me a good card. And he won't. Even if we had enough money, there's nothing here that I would want. Misery. I do like Misery. Misery is a great card because if you have multiple enemies you have to fight and you pump Doom into one of the dudes and you cast this on one of the dudes, it inflicts all the other dudes with just that much Doom. Or whatever they have, if they're vulnerable or whatever. Oh yeah, so good. But we can't because it costs too much. This guy has an artifact. That sucks. But that's okay because we can get rid of the artifact right here. So we'll bodyguard, and then we'll negative pulse that gets rid of his artifact. An artifact blocks your debuff, but then it goes away. So if he's got 1 artifact, which he did down here, the little gear, then he blocks my first attempt to debuff him, and then it goes away. Now, incidentally, if you had a debuff that was like -1 strength, -1 dex, the strength would hit, get rid of the artifact, and the dex would hit and cause that to happen, -1 dex. Fun, right? Right. Unleash, 14 damage. Debilitate, we can't. Ran out of energy. Alright. He's got 51 hit points because he's got that block on there. So we're going to defend, and attack, but we're going to use our strength, which we should have used in the beginning. Won't do anything because he's got fucking 10 block. Asshole. Reap is staying right where it is. Reap is staying right where it is. Alright, he's going to do 14 damage now. So we'll debilitate and then defend. Oh, defend is only 3 because he... Alright, well, Osti only has 2 hit points now. And we won with Reap, so no skin off my back. End of days. The cornerstone of your Doom deck. So is time up. No. So is time's up, and No escape. No escape. I really hope we can get that. We need that in order for this whole thing to be fucking complete. All right, we got debilitate, but we got reap, which is great against these guys because if you kill one, they all get stunned. So these are already attacking me. So I'm going to kill this one because when these two come back from being dizzy or whatever, he'll still be with a down arrow. He won't be attacking me. He'll be the only one attacking me. Boom, he's dead. These guys are dizzy, no stunned. I can't do anything else because that costs too much. So see, he's going to do 12 damage to me, and he's still going to buff himself. Now we end of days, and then that's that. End of days does 29 doom to everybody. And if the doom happens to be greater than his hit points, it instantly kills them. So we need to upgrade that, because it goes to 37. That means any mob out there with 37 hit points, I just cast that, and they all die. Invoke, Reeve, Parse. Nope. It's unfortunate. We have 94 gold. Can we buy? No. Nothing good. Sleight of Flesh is cool. However, it costs 2. I don't really have a lot of energy. So we're not going to do that. However, we're about to fight the boss. So we should buy something. Actually, no, we're not going to buy anything. Unless one of these is a doom. No, but we do have a duplicator. Do we honestly think that this dude could beat us with the deck that we have right now? No. Unless I completely fuck up, there's no way we can lose this fight against this dude. So I am not even going to bother taking duplicator. We're just going to go on. We're going to smith. End of days, of course. Goes from 29 doom to 37 doom. Kick ass. All right. First thing we start out with is an end of days. But before we do that, we get a chance to use our power potion. And we shall. And we got countdown. So while before there might have been a slight chance this guy could beat us, now there's no chance. Lethality is great, but we don't have very... The point of our deck isn't to do physical damage. Overall. I mean, we have Reap, but we're sort of forced to take Reap, and really we're glad we do, because in the beginning, if you just Reap the dudes, they die because they don't have many hit points. Same thing with End of Days. But once you start getting in Act 2 and Act 3, those cards aren't so great. They're not. Because there's a lot of dudes who have more hit points. A lot more in Act 3. Alright, Devour Life is nice whenever I play a soul summon one, but I have no way to make any souls. Can't do that. Countdown. Countdown's free, man. That's so good. Okay, should we Reap? Or should we End of Days? Reap or End of Days? Does he heal himself? I don't remember. End of Days. End of Days is essentially physical damage. All right, now he's giving us these beckon cards. The beckon cards, if they're in my hand at the end of turn, we lose 6 hit points. The key here is that you lose those hit points. Even if you have block up, it doesn't go against block. You just lose it. Okay, so we have to get rid of that right away. In fact, it makes me wish that I grabbed that potion that gave 2 energy. That would have been a good bot. All right, so 16 damage. What can we do? We can bodyguard. And then debilitate does 12 damage. And he's not going to be vulnerable or weak. That's the reason why I took debilitate. I don't have any way to make him vulnerable or weak. Unleash does 15, so we're going to do that. Down to 196. He's going to do 16 damage. Osti will die. Bye, Osti. Always back. And our card countdown kicks in and applies another 6 doom. So good. Okay. Negative pulse, more doom. Bodyguard, another 7 to him. And we'll defend. Why not? So the problem with this fight is that if we don't kill him, those beckon cards will kill us. As soon as we start getting 3 of them in our hand, what are we going to do? End of days. We're going to take the 6 from the beckon this time. Get that end of days in. Now he is intangible, which means I can't do any damage to him. We have to get rid of that beckon. Bodyguard again. And Unleash will do... Unleash and Strike and shit won't do anything. But it'll do 1 damage. So, we'll do that. Osti's still alive. Not dead. He's not dead yet. End of days. 152 out of 195. 1 more end of days, and that should be that. 2 more beckons. We got all 3 beckons. That sucks. So he's at 195, and this is essentially at 160. That's 35, 37 damage. Reap does 33, so that won't work. So we are actually going to be taking all this damage. Beckon, 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 end. Yeah, this is what I mean about the slight possibility that we will lose. Now it's different because our countdown hit for 6 doom makes it 164. So 195 minus 164 is 29, right? 29, 64, 74, 84, 94. Actually, it's 31. Reap does 33 damage. Boom. Now he's doomed. He's going to do 10 damage to me. I don't care. We have plenty of hit points to take that. And he's dead. How could he be the one if he's dead? Okay. Misery, we'll take that. That goes along with our whole thing. We talked about it a little bit earlier. I think this is Darv. No, it's not. Yeah, it is Darv. The Hoarder. Where did I put? Oh, come to see my collection? Okay. Okay, Calling Bell. Obtain a unique curse and 3 relics. Absolutely not. Empty Cage. Remove 2 cards from your deck. Absolutely yes. At the start of your turn, draw 2 additional cards. Start each combat confused. Absolutely not. Confused means we don't know the cost of the card. The cost of your cards are randomized on draw from 0 to 3. So here's the deal. If you draw End of Days, it could be 0, it could be 1, it could be 2, it could be 3. It's already going to be 3 if I don't have it. The odds that it's going to be 0, 1, or 2 are way greater than if it's only going to be 3. The other one too. The other, the Reap costs 3. If we get that first card in our hand, so at the start of your turn, draw 2 additional cards. But then again, the other cards that we get that cost 1, like a block card, end up costing 3. That would really suck. So I don't want to deal with that. So we're going to remove 2 cards from our deck. Oh, yes, we are. What are we going to remove? Strike, strike. Bye, Felicia. Okay. This might not work out for us, but then again, it might work out for us. So we want to go to as many merchants as we can. Here's one. It went right in line. Down here is another one. And there's one over here that if we do this one, then we can't do that one. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go up this way. We're going to hit a couple question marks that we wouldn't be able to get otherwise, which is nice. Okay. 13 damage. Negative pulse. Defend, defend. That blocks that damage. And now he's going to be going underground, which blows, but you know, that's the way it goes. So we're going to reap, I think. Yeah, we'll reap and we'll misery. Misery does 7 damage and then does that buff thing to all other enemies. There's no other enemy. So it only does 7 damage, but it doesn't cost anything. That's good. 32 damage here. 47. If we were to end of days, he would still be alive because we needed to do 10 more damage to him. Sucks. So the problem with that is that I only have 1 defend, and that's it. Debilitate does 12 damage and some other nonsense that we can't use. And so debilitate, strike, and defend that's what we have. That's all we have. If we were to end of days, we wouldn't have killed him and we would take all the damage. So now he's going to do, let's say 8. He's going to do like 17 damage to us. That sucks. 15. Especially since we only have 66 max hit points. Misery. And I think we're going to reap him here. And the reason why I say that is because as soon as we get rid of the 7 block, he's going to be stunned. So now he's within end of days territory. So if we get end of days, it's over. And we did. So it's over. Okay. And the odds that we get end of days when we want to are really high because we have 11 cards. I know. It's like 2 hands. So not enough cards. But we keep getting bullshit cards. No block cards at all. Alright, so this guy is going to do 11 damage to us. Not good. Only 1 block. It's not really a block. So we're going to take more damage. Unfortunately, we'll cast Misery. We'll cast Debilitate. It doesn't really matter because as soon as we get end of days, we win. So, oh, hey, that killed that guy. We didn't take any damage. We didn't get end of days. Crazy. Negative pulse. And a defend and a defend. We just need end of days. We'll just wait. There it is. Boom. And then that's that. You can say end of days is a bit cheating. I agree. Scourge Plus. We'll take it. That applies 13 Doom and you draw 2 cards. That's a nice. Where is it? No, 16 Doom. I'm sorry. Even better. Okay, this guy's an asshole because he summons a dude that does a lot of damage to me. So we're going to look at our attack potion right now. Eradicate deals 11 damage X times, so it will do 33 damage. Which happens to be the same as... there's nothing there. It's the same as Reap, but... it'll cost all of our energy to use it. Death March deals 8 damage, deal 4 additional damage for each card drawn during your turn. Kinda dumb. Retain deals 8 damage to all enemies. Kinda dumb. So this was not a good idea. Absolutely not. But those Sow and Death March are free. Eradicate is not, because it's going to use our energy. Deal 8 damage, deal 4 additional damage for every card drawn. Nope. Deal 8 damage. Okay, so whatever. Okay, so we can actually take advantage of this a little bit because Scourge does allow me to draw 2 cards. So Death March now hits for 16. So that's actually pretty good. Can we draw any more cards somehow? Absolutely not. Death March. Bodyguard and then Unleash. That's not a very bad way to start at all. So there's the dude. He's going to do 16 damage to me every turn, and he just keeps coming back when you kill him. So we really need to get rid of, like, this dude. So End of Days is a perfect thing to cast right here because it gets rid of that guy, it dooms him, and it does that much doom to the other guy who's not about to hit me. So End of Days. And now he's at 53 doom. 1 more End of Days and we beat that guy. So we have 0 cards drawn. End of days could potentially be right here. And it isn't. However, Misery is. So if I cast Misery, that will actually put that much doom on that guy. So he'll die, but he won't die until he does his 19 damage. And we can't have that happen. So how could we win this? We're going to have to negative... If we negative pulse, we can't reap. And really the answer to this is we need to be able to get rid of that 21 dude. Because we just can't take that... 19 dude. We can't take that 19 damage. So we do that. We Misery this guy. He's down to 79. He's still within... We're going to take, what, 3 damage? That's not so bad. If we can get the end of days right here. And we didn't. But we can Scourge us. Unfortunately, if I Scourge, I use an energy. And then I can't end of days. Alright. Alright. Bodyguard. How are we going to work this? Unleash does 14. And not enough to kill him, but Unleash 14 to 12 is enough. So we'll Unleash on that guy. Debilitate on that guy. We'll take 1 more damage. And hopefully we get... Well, we're going to get under days here. It could have been better. Okay, it could have been better. But it is what it is. We took like 4 damage. Grave Warden, finally. Nice. This is the fake one. So you see this is like Happy Flower, question. Every 5 turns, gain 1. Strike Dummy, question. This is the one where if you get those foul potions, you can throw them at the guy and fight him. I've never done it. I've never had the foul potions in my hand. So we'll go to our merchant and see what we can do. The Scythe is cool if you get it right in the beginning. Defy Neurosurge is really cool. That Neurosurge will give us our energy that we so need. And we can get rid of a card. So we'll Neurosurge and we'll drop the last strike. Yes, sir. Okay. These guys. Okay, so we have to kill these 2 guys in the front while this guy sleeps for 3 turns. Negative Pulse gives us 6. We need to get to 15 because then he'll be stunned when he hits me. So Bodyguard, incidentally, Bodyguard doesn't block. So it doesn't go towards that 15. So unfortunately I need to do it the other way in order to get that to happen. I made a mistake. Let's do it again the proper way. So we can just reap and kill no one, which then, what will that prove? Okay, then defend and then Grave Warden. Now we have 19, and that's greater than 15, so he'll be stunned. There's the stun. He casts weak. That's fine because we don't really hit for very hard anyway. We'll soul just to get end of days, and that should kill both those dudes. Yes, it does, and it puts the heat on that 3rd guy. He's at... What is he at? No, he's at 48. So he's almost all the way there already. Misery? That doesn't really do anything. If we Neurosurge, we can reap. If I reap, what will that do? He's got essentially 96 hit points. Really kind of nothing. If you think about it. He'll wake up, which I don't want. So we're just going to end turn. He's going to sleep again for another turn. So if I get end of days, it's over. And I don't. But that's fine because I get Scourge, which gives him more. And what else can I do here? I can Bodyguard. I can Unleash. We actually did damage to him, which was a mistake, but that's fine. We can't do any more damage to him. If I do this, we'll win. Neurosurge, then Reap. And that puts him in Doom category, and he's stunned, so when he wakes up, he'll die. So that was probably the best way I could have played that one. Another Scourge, we're not going to do it. What's delay do? Gain 11 block, next turn gain 1, but it costs 2. I do like delay. We'll go to this question mark and choose 1 of 5 random cards. Negative pulse. Okay, so this is where we find out which one's better. Negative pulse or catastrophe, purity, or automation. And negative pulse. And then we can upgrade that bitch, and then he's going to start doing some good amount of Doom. We actually get to get this chest. Every 3 turns, draw 1 card. I like it. I like it. Okay, and here we are at the Smith. 47 of 66. If we rest, we get 19 hit points. 57, and that will get us to 66. Just so. That means that I probably should be resting here. And there's another one of these dudes here. And okay, we're resting. We're resting. I don't want to, but we're resting because we get all our hit points back. That's like maximum effectiveness right there. Maximum effectiveness. When you rest and you get the exact amount of hit points it takes to be full, max health, that's efficiency. I'm so glad that those guys hit me in such a fashion. All right, question mark, question mark, question mark. Love it. Here's a hidden merchant that has nothing. I thought Page Storm was going to be that Doom card that I really want that we haven't come across yet. I can't remember the name of it now, but when it comes up, I'll tell you. So we can get rid of a card, but we won't because we know that we have another one of these in 2 moves. We can get another Misery, which we won't. Right here. Don't be a monster. Good. Okay, so here's our Procure 3 Foul Potions. So that's the problem with this is you have to carry these fucking Foul Potions with you, all 3 of them, until you come across the fake merchant. Who does that? I'm not doing that. Unless the fake merchant is right above you, but you don't know because he's in a question mark. We'll take fish oil. I like that a lot. And what do we have? Hunt. Death's Door is good. Death's Door is good. That means if I apply Doom, okay, Death's Door gives you block. It gives you, just a second. All right, Death's Door gives you 6 block, but if you've just used Doom, it triples it. Yeah, that's really fucking good. So we're gonna get that for sure. Bone Shards, no. Drain Power, no. Splash, no. Alchemize, I really love Alchemize, but it costs way too much. And now we can't get rid of a card. Where are we in terms of getting closer to the boss? 1 attack away. 1 battle away. So, what should we do? Should we buy the power card? Or should we buy the Blessing of the Forge? We're going to buy the power card and hope we get a cool-ass power to help us against the boss. That's what we're going to do. Oh shit. Maybe we're going to use that against this guy. He's an ass munch. Okay, so the nice thing about him is Doom, again, does not affect his ability. He has a debuff that every time I use a card, I get -1 dex, -1 strength for that turn. That sucks. Completely sucks. But I'm going to Neurosurge here because we draw 2 cards with Neurosurge. We apply 3 Doom to ourselves every turn. That means we can kill ourselves. Oh yeah, that happens. Okay, so we're going to we're going to Neurosurge first just to see what we get. Okay, nothing great, but we have 6 fucking energy now. That is great. Can we pick any more cards? Fish oil, 1 strength, 1 dex, fairy in a bottle is going to be for our boss. Oh yes. All right, negative pulse, bodyguard, misery. That doesn't cost anything. Grave Warden, and then Unleash. That is I mean, it was the only thing we could have done, but it's nice to be able to do that. And there we have the debuff of Tender. And by the way, since we applied Doom this turn, because it was applied to me, Death's Door triggers. That is so cool. If you applied Doom this turn, I did. I applied Doom to me. That's cool. I didn't know that would happen. All right, wait a minute. We have a soul. What soul? I'm glad we didn't get End of Days. Because then I'd have a problem. But he's going to do 17 damage to me, so we use Death's Door to get 15 of it. He's already got 9. We're going to Scourge him, get another card, and there's End of Days. Wasted. And we'll debilitate. Good. Not bad, not bad, not bad. Okay, now we have End of Days again, and he's going to do another 21 damage to me. Vulnerable and weak are twice as effective for the next 2 turns. Guess what I can't do? Cause vulnerability or weakness. Great. What we need to do is we need to get Death's Door again. So we're going to Scourge, hoping that we get it. And we didn't. So we have 3 defends. And that'll block 15 of his damage. Well, we can't do all 3. We can only do 2. Alright, we're using... I don't want to use a power potion. I don't want to use a strength and dex potion. What can we do here to help offset the amount of damage we take? Because I kind of want to use this to upgrade a card. In our deck, let's take a look. Yeah, we have a negative pulse that's not upgraded. I'd like to upgrade it. And we have a Grave Warden that we haven't upgraded. And we have Death's Door we haven't upgraded either. So that's what I'd like to use that for. So we have to figure out a way to stop 21 damage. I think we're going to use fish oil. That just got rid of his... That sucks. That just got rid of his debuff. Alright. That was a waste. Not really. Our defense now blocked for 5. Negative Pulse does 5 block, applies 7 Doom. That's actually something. Defend. Man, we can't defend again. And Misery. What are we at here? 21, and we're at 17. That's 4 damage, right? All right, that's fine. That's fine. We'll take 4 damage. We got him to 57. So really, if we... Oh, Death's Door, boom. If perchance he we got what's it called? End of Days, we would have won. But now Death's Door is great because we get 21 block from it. And he's going to do 21 damage. So now we'll negative pulse him. Now he's at 68. We'll bodyguard. That's good. 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 Come on, End of Days. Don't be shy. It's not here. I don't know why. 17 more damage. Grave Warden does 8. Negative Pulse gives us 5 more. 6 more. But 5 after I cast Grave Warden. 9. And 5 is 14. So, okay, so we're fine. We're fine. Now we can debilitate him. Oh, that puts him in Doom mode. Bye-bye, sucker. All right, so we took 4 damage that fight. Not so bad. Not so bad considering. Grave Warden, we'll take it. You see what I want to do in the deck, besides get the Doom cards, is to replace all the defend cards with Grave Warden and Negative Pulse. And we're going to smith. We're going to smith... we're going to smith Negative Pulse. Wait, what does Neurosurge do if we upgrade it? You gain 4. Okay, we don't really need that. 3 is plenty. All right, here we go. All right, so this boss has a unique ability that every X number of turns, I can't remember, he does a bad thing to us, casts a negative effect, and we'll go through that when he does it. So first thing we do is look at to see what our power cards are. Friendship, lose 2 strength, gain 1 at the start of each turn. That's bad for any kind of offensive cards that we have. Because that's every single fucking turn. Okay, what do we have? Let's use this, because we get, at the start of your turn, gain 1 and draw 1 additional card. That's so good. That's so good. Why is this pot 50 gold and not 500 gold? Okay, we're doing it. That's so good. That's so good. Okay, so we want to hit this guy for as much as we can right now because he's going to fuck everything up. So really all we can do is end of days. So we're not really going to do very much here. We're going to play a lot of Doom, but that's the goal. End of days, misery, and that's it. Here's his first debuff. Disintegration. At the end of your turn, take 6 damage. Absolutely not. Mind Rot. Draw 1 fewer card each turn. Absolutely, because guess what? We just cast that other card that gives us a card every turn. So now it's a wash. The joke's on him. Okay, he's going to do 17 damage to me. We have 4 energy now. God bless that card. In fact, if that card comes up as a reward, I think we'll take it. Okay, Negative Pulse. More Doom the better. Now we can actually reap. But if I reap, he'll die and we'll take damage. Grave Warden will negate all of the damage. No. 8 and 6 is 14. 16 will take 1 damage. But we still can do more. Reap. We take 9 damage. Negative Pulse. Again. Death's Door. Freaking awesome. 24. So good. But you know what? I think I want a Neurosurge the next time Neurosurge comes up. Because it makes that Death's Door. It triggers Death's Door. I want to have Neurosurge on all the time. Except when he kills me. Okay, defend. 34 defense. So good. End of days. End of fucking days. There it is. Now he's up to 96 Doom. We can Death's Door. Of course we can. He's going to do 11 damage to me, so if I Death's Door, I block it all. But I'm not applying any more Doom. So if I use Negative Pulse, that'll block 8, will take 3 damage, but will give 11 Doom to him. And that's what we would do. More Doom, the better. Okay, Negative Pulse again. Bodyguard. And we're not going to Neurosurge here. We're just going to end it. You cannot play more than 3 cards each turn. At the end of your turn, take 7 damage. Absolutely not. Sloth. Okay, three cards every turn. Now, we have to be cognizant of that happening. Unfortunately, I have one block. So we're going to block and reap. And misery. Defend, reap, misery. Okay, he's going to do 30 damage to me. Is it time for Narrow Surge? It might be. What's in our deck? End of Days. What are the odds that we'll pull that? Probably pretty good. Let's use it. Didn't get it. However, we have 7 energy now, so we can reap again. God bless it. Reap. So 118 life and... No, 118 doom and 296 life. He's going to do 30 damage to me still. So we're going to bodyguard. Oh no, we can only do 3 cards. Fuck. I completely forgot. We're so screwed. We're so screwed. We're going to die of doom. Death's Door. End of Days. Can't do Scourge. We can do Misery. Oh, man. Oh, man. We're getting Doom applied to us every turn. We're so screwed. We're going to die of Doom. Energy, negative pulse, and Grave Warden to get that very good soul. Hopefully will come in handy here. Waste away. Gain 1 less per turn. That's fine. Why would we even use what we have? Death's Door. Death's Door can come every turn. I would not mind. Bodyguard and Misery. Okay, if we Scourge, we're kind of screwed here. We're kind of screwed. I'm not sure that if we redo this, it turns out any different. Actually, I do. Let's redo it. Just one time. Let's see if we can make better decisions. Okay, we'll use this and we'll get ourselves that. Cast that. It started out so good before, right? Like that. And then we'll end up daze him. And then we'll misery him. Okay. And now he does Mind Rot, which we know. And he's going to do 17 damage to me. We're going to be a little more careful with when we use that fucking card that applies Doom to me. Okay, let's see what we have here. 8 block. We need Grave Warden. At 14, 16, we take 1 damage. We'll debilitate and defend. So we take no damage. Neural Surge. I kind of don't think that's a good idea. Okay, we'll negative pulse this guy. Death's Door, of course. Stop all his damage. We'll Grave Warden. And defend, just for fun. Okay, End of Days. And negative pulse. And we take 1 damage. I don't want a soul because I don't want to get a card. We have no energy, so that wouldn't do anything. All right, he's going to apply another debuff to me, so let's reap and negative pulse. I probably should be reaping and scourging, actually. Sloth. 19 damage, huh? So, if that's one of the 3, can we do any... We can't do any Doom damage, or Doom, period. So Death's Door isn't really coming into play. Bodyguard. Grave Warden. And that's it. So that's 17. We take 2 damage. Not great, but not bad. This is for 30. Soul. Okay, end of days. Death's Door. 18, 19, we take 11. That's fine. And now he's going to heal himself. I believe he heals himself for 30. So he's going to do 13 damage to me. We have a bodyguard that will take away 7 of it. And just got 1 hit point, so that'll take away 8. So we'll reap, misery, and bodyguard. Probably should have bodyguarded and then use unleash. I'm not the smartest tool in the shed. All right, so we're gonna end of days and scourge, and he is going to cause another problem. Waste away. Anything that does damage to us, we don't want to have to deal with. 21 damage. And now we only have 3 of 3 instead of 4 of 4 energy. So how are we going to get through this one, guys? Negative pulse. Apply that doom, man. Grave Warden for blocking. We're at 14 blocks, 16 block, essentially. And unleash. Do some damage. Hosty's going to die again. That's okay. We have 38 hit points and another 30%, which is like another 20. So essentially we have like 55 hit points, 54 hit points. Negative pulse and Death's Door. That stops almost all of his damage. Not really. If I use Soul, that's the 3rd card. So we're going to use Debilitate. Because we only get to use 3 cards. Alright, so 15 damage, and he's at 230 doom. End of days. Neurosurge. Negative pulse. That's just not good. And I'll tell you why it's not good. I don't think Neurosurge belongs in this battle. Because if Doom kills me and he doesn't kill me, then we won't... If I'm at 0 and the Doom hits, I'll never get to use this. 23 damage. And we're going to have to Scourge to get a couple of cards and hope we get something good. And we only get 1 more. What's in our deck? Death's Door's in there. Let's see if we get it. We didn't get it. We got a negative pulse, though. So that stops a little, not a lot. Now we're dead. The Doom hits. Now we're doomed. After this turn, we die. That sucks. I knew it. Damn it. Okay, well, that you got to see it firsthand. How Doom casting Neuro thing. Oh, it worked. Are you shitting me? All right, I didn't think that would happen. I didn't think that would happen. You saw what just happened, right? We're within Doom range, and that thing kicked off and saved us. That's bizarro, but I'll take it. So, here's the deal. We look in our hand. There's End of Days. End of Days beats him. If we use this Soul and get End of Days, we win. If it isn't, we lose. Because we don't have enough block cards. I can't believe it. So, the moral of the story is, I have a weak-ass deck. That was pretty key, man. What a clutch Soul right there. All right, Undeath, Time's Up, Transfigure. Time's Up's really cool because it's it does damage equal to the amount of doom. So End of Days is like a doom card that has Time's Up built into it. Right? Because if End of Days causes as much doom as the enemy's hit points, it kills them. Same with Time's Up. Time's Up does the damage equal to the amount of doom that's on the guy. So the only thing Time's Up can't do is kill them unless they have more doom than hit points, or as much. Okay, Undeath or Transfigure? Undeath is cool. Let's see what we have for block cards. Death's Door. Defend, defend, defend. Grave Warden, Grave Warden, negative pulse, negative pulse. We have enough defend cards. 16 total cards, and this Neurosurge that got us into trouble big time. So do we take Time's Up or Undeath? Undeath is another block card that every time you use it, you get a copy of it. It doesn't cost anything and it gains 7 block, but how many battles am I going to be in where I'm going to make like 5 Undeaths and then they're all going to be in my hand? I mean, that's worthless, right? It's like anger, except anger is useful. So we're going to take Time's Up. Oh shit, we got this guy. He's the worst. Blood-Soaked Rose. Add 1 Enthralled to your deck, gain 1 at the start of each turn. If I have Enthralled, then I have to play that first. So just so that you know, this isn't so bad. Okay, it sounds horrible, but it isn't so bad. Because I start out with 3 energy every turn. Now I'll start with 4. If I get an Enthralled, I'll have 2. I'll have to get rid of that one. But every other time that I don't have an Enthralled in my deck, I get to use that extra energy for something. The problem is my deck heavily relies on recycling cards. So I could theoretically get Enthralled twice, right? If I use something to draw cards like Scourge, I draw 2 cards. I mean, that would be bad, right? Yes, it would be bad. I don't have any other card drawing capability, though, do I? Reap, negative pulse. Yes, I do. Every time I use a Grave Warden, I get a soul, and a soul lets you draw cards. So that's what makes me not want to do that one. Distinguished Cape, lose 9 max hit points, add 3 apparitions to your deck. An apparition costs 1, and you gain intangible. Okay. Intangible means I can't take damage this turn. So that's really strong, but I lose max hit points. All right, now the third one's just right up. When you visit a merchant, you immediately obtain everything. Okay, that's crazy. You know why it's crazy? I wonder what happens when you have the rat relic. So the rat relic says that the merchant doesn't ever run out of whatever he has to sell. Meaning, if I were to buy a potion, another potion would appear right behind it. It's not a blank spot. So if I go into a merchant and I immediately buy everything he sells, and I have that relic, does it just create an infinite loop and then crash the game? Inquiring minds. So just so you know, this is the worst dude. He basically has like 1 decent thing and 2 okay things, and everything else is horrible. Like this. The Distinguished Cape is okay, but I lose those max hit points and I only have 66. The Enthralled thing is pretty cool, but like I said, we recycle cards. Enthralled is going to fuck us, I think. We're doing it. Not losing max hit points, tell you that. All right, let's see if we can, like, manage to do something. I know, it's not likely. But we're going to Scourge. And when we Scourge, we can use Death's Door for triple, so we have 18 block. And he does 21 damage. So we're going to do a little bit more. Actually, we're going to do a lot of bit more. Let's Neurosurge. And Grave Warden. We'll Bodyguard. We'll Misery. This dude onto that dude. Because Misery applies that Doom. He has 16 Doom, so Misery applied 16 Doom to this guy. That's fun. And then, you know what? Why don't we just reap that guy in the middle? In the front, I mean. Yeah. Reap him. Now he's doomed. Bye, Felicia. Okay. End of Days for the win. Dunzo. Defy, no. Grave Blast, no. Okay, no. This is where it gets tricky, because nobody has any good fucking cards. We still are out one really good card. Actually, two really good Doom cards. End of Days and Misery and Scourge. And we have 4 of 4, so we're going to Scourge. And now we're going to End of Days. And now we're going to Misery. Okay. And there's Enthralled, fucking us over. We have to use it. Now we only have 2 energy and not 4 or 3. But we do. Neurosurge. Grave Warden. And we have 12 damage to deal with. Death's Door. Time's up. And Unleash. Nice. We block all his damage. He's now at 53 Doom and 94 health. Okay, so we have to account for 21 damage. Death's Door. Because Death's Door is getting triggered on myself. I mean, Doom. We're blocking 18. Bodyguard. Negative Pulse. Defend just for fun. End. Now he's up to 64. Where's End of Days? There it is. Boom. Winner, chicken dinner. I wish the boss was that easy. We beat him on the last fucking card. The soul that pulled the card we needed for the win. That's some crazy shit, man. All right, Rattle, Cleanse, right hand. Nope. Dude, if this game really wanted me to play Austie, why didn't you just say that? I guess it kind of is, right? All right, 200 gold. What can we do? Another End of Days? No. Negative Pulse, yes. And we can get rid of a Defend. Okay. Drain Power, Severance, Finesse, the Gambit, End of Days, Haunt. None of those really go well. End of Days does, but we have it. And that's it. We should play a Soul deck sometime. That Haunt's a good one. All right, let's fight this guy. 3 of these Emphors. 12 damage to me. Negative Pulse. Negative Pulse. Negative Pulse. And Defend. Why not? 18 damage to me. Bodyguard. That's 9, and Reap would put him in danger zone. No, it wouldn't. Misery, get him there? Nope. Neurosurge. Oh no, Enthralled. Grave Warden. 15, and we take 18, so we take a few damage, and that's not that big of a deal. Okay, Scourge. That should put him there, yeah. Death's Door will stop his damage, and we're going to end it right here, because I don't want to draw Enthralled. Okay, next guy comes down. We have a little time here, so we're negative pulse. Negative pulse. Negative. That's 22 damage. Okay, we'll times up him for 22. It's not great, but it's something. Enthralled. Incidentally, Enthralled is eternal, which means I can't get rid of it, even if I want to. Misery. Bodyguard. We take 5 damage right now. Nothing I can do. He's going to do 24 damage. Fucking Enthralled. I say with negative pulse and Grave Warden and hope for the best. It's only 10. 11. We're going to take a shit ton of damage from this fucker. 13 damage. End of days. Bye, Felicia. So. 7 Doom. We're not souling again, because we'll probably get an Enthralled, and then we'd be totally screwed. Death's Door. That stops all his damage. We can Reap now. We will. And looks like 30 damage. What in the fuck is this guy doing? Is Enthralled in here? It sure is. Damn. Are we going to soul and get Enthralled? No, we didn't. If we surge, we're surely going to get it. So we're going to negative pulse. Grave Warden, Grave Warden. Negative pulse. We're at 1922. Jesus, we take 8 more damage. Crazy, there's Enthralled. And we have 2. We can soul. Oh my god, Enthralled again. That's so bad. Now we can't do fuck all. And we take 18 damage. That's... And now we're doomed, by the way. So we lost the game. This Emperor. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. We beat that last boss, but we lost to our common dude because I'm dumb. Please subscribe. See you soon.